So heading in week 18, Atlanta could fuck around and make the playoffs.
It's tough only because you don't typically see a team fighting for the playoffs that can also – we can go all the way up to the number 8 pick in the NFL draft.
That's high. That's another Kyle Pitts.
And in this draft class, that could be like a Michael Penix. And I like that boy. I like that man.
With the 8th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Atlanta Falcons select Michael Penix Jr.
Well, there.
What the fuck? Oh my God!
I like that man.
Where did this come from?
How is that even in the 8th overall?
Oh, man.
I like that man.
Sunshine, lollipops, and rainbows. Everything that's wonderful is what I feel when we're together.
Who do you think won the draft? Bears. Gotta be, right?
Yeah, probably. They're the only team that didn't like absolutely fuck it up.
Who fumbled?
Everybody.
I also think
Atlanta.
the Jets low-key won too. Getting a great tackle, like they haven't had consistency at the tackle position for fucking years.
I was so ready for them to just announce Brock Bowers. I was like, great, here we go.
Like just
Here we fucking go.
Nate Wiggins is a Ravens win.
That's massive.
Saved $20 million. Picked
kid-
up a rookie.
Some kid commented, of course, gut likes Nate Wiggins because he's a Clemson guy or whatever.
Ended
But he
there,
can't.
he's spot on.
He's
Ended
like,
there.
but he can't tackle. And I'm like, brother, he's just a coverage corner and only has ever been a coverage corner. I've never been like Nate Wiggins is an elite tackler.
Him and Marlon gonna be a dirty duo.
He's gonna be so good in Baltimore.
Low-key, the Cardinals won. Like, getting Marvin Harrison.
Facts. No, that's so true.
Like,
Who else they get? They got somebody else.
Byron Murphy,
Nah.
which is a dub. They need a D-line too. So is that who they got?
Yeah, I don't think they got Murphy.
Who
I
the
heard
fuck got
Murphy went 16.
Did he?
It's the Seahawks.
That's who got him. Seahawks. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Dub Seahawks.
Brighter than a lucky penny when you're near the rain goes, disappears, dear, and I feel so fine.
All right, we're filming. What's today's date? Today's April 26th, day 2 of the NFL draft, meaning rounds 2 and 3, meaning we are post one day of round 1 and day 1 of the NFL draft. Sure, Nick will talk about Michael Penix to the Falcons, so I don't have to.
Feels like it's been a year since I've confessed my sins. This felt like taking Penix at 8 was like the first time in quite a long time that something that a professional sports team did actually made me upset. You know, you guys wouldn't believe how much like sports don't affect my life at all, despite being a sports content creator. The lines don't really blur for me like that. Like, I can step outside of the office and sports just don't. It just doesn't happen for me. Last night was a different story.
No! Oh my God!
Dude, I saw it like 5 minutes ago and I was like trying to contain myself.
Is the 101.
Like, that was not even on the radar, I feel like.
I didn't hear that one time.
No.
Why the fuck would we have heard that one time? We just signed Kurt.
That's the one,
Don't take
correct?
him 8 overall.
Oh.
I saw it like 5 minutes ago. I was trying not to like.
I think because I got my expectations up for the Falcons. I was finally like, we're building towards possibly greatness, more likely goodness, but I'll take that at this point. I was looking forward to games. You know what I mean? Being like, oh, we're a good team. Like any game that we step onto the field for, we're going to be able to compete. Maybe not win, but we're going to be a good team. And honestly, the draft pick last night doesn't change that. It doesn't make us a worse team, obviously, but I felt like we could have addressed a position that made us better right now, right here, right now, right here.
Things were getting rowdy. There was obviously the peak moment of when Michael Penix was drafted to the Falcons. Now there's a quarterback controversy. Nick's in shambles.
Drake London I have no problem with. The next year, you say, okay, I'm fine going into the year with Desmond Ridder as our quarterback. Take a running back, 8 overall. Give a 36-year-old QB $160 million, then draft a quarterback 8. No. Like, this is, you can't make up, like, the 5-6 decision.
When you put it that way, it's not great.
The scope of the last 3 months have really made it that much worse.
He came in 2021. Those are all his. Everything is his doing.
No, I understand that. I think the scope of like what just happened makes that situation sound a lot worse. Take last night out of it, and you're like, oh, he got an elite tight end prospect, an elite wide receiver prospect, got an elite running back prospect, and then got a good veteran quarterback. Like, oh, that's not bad. But then last night he was like,
Yeah.
all of that.
He couldn't find a competent coach. the whole time, and then now he has 2 quarterbacks.
The coaching's a joke. We haven't made the playoffs since. I also like am watching press conferences after, and Raheem Morris is just takes over the press conference. Like Terry cannot speak. Terry just looks at Raheem, and then Raheem has to answer all the hard questions. I'm like, what's your job title? What are you doing? Next time we have the 8th overall pick, I want us to forfeit the pick for tampering. Maybe that's what it was. The NFL's like, you can either forfeit or you have to take a backup quarterback. And
you're never going to have a first round pick
yourself
again, so we better take a QB.
It's a humiliation ritual.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
I would kind of respect that.
Fair enough, yeah.
It's going to be a movie.
There's going to be a documentary on Nick's blood pressure.
Oh, it's already on Twitter.
There were so many things that went under the radar because of how fucking dumb that pick was. I couldn't even really enjoy the rest of the draft. But like 3 wide receivers going at the end of the round was cool as hell.
Life comes at you fast sometimes. I was sitting there, like, it's all fun and games. I got this onesie on, kind of twerking, and then next thing you know, like, all right, the whole fucking stream is just changed completely. Nick's like dead.
I was fine.
He came back, but it took a little bit.
Fine.
I'm fine. This is like
It's nothing new, but it's fun to live through it every year. You know, last year it was Bijan, I think number 7, you know, top 10 pick. In prior years, it was Pitt taking a tight end in the top 10. So become a yearly tradition where we watch the draft together, and inevitably Nick just collapses. He just has the worst night of his life. So that's always fun.
Like, I look back at the reaction of last night and like the pictures of me that they were posting, and I'm like, oh, I didn't even like remember making those facial expressions. So I was like, that actually fucked me up a little bit. Yeah, fucked me up a little bit. So yeah, I don't know. Super Bowl runs through Atlanta still. Always has, always will, always won't, never will.
Draft all around was a very fun event, show, combine, yeah, whatever you want to call it, for us in the office, and I think the NFL put on a fucking movie with some of the picks we saw. 6 quarterbacks in the top 12. Never happened in NFL history. So it's always good when you get to watch some history with the boys on a Thursday night.
You know, we did some giveaways, gave out some signed mini helmets. We did some challenges, did smelling salts. Those things were incredibly strong, even from a distance. If the cap was just chilling off the bottle, like, you could start to feel it tingling in your nose, and it wasn't a good feeling. You heard it in the mic.
You got it.
Woo! I can feel it in my throat.
Hit that again.
I ain't hitting that again.
I think that's what you said when you had the hot sauce.
Definitely. I'll definitely rip it out.
Oh my God, Adam. He's the great
There you go. He tried to really eat that for a second. He's about to pass out. Yep.
You're supposed to put him
Yep. Yep.
Yep. All right. I can bench 225 right now.
I'm not crying, you are. That's wild.
Yo, that I can't tell if that like cleared up my sinus.
Jesus Christ, Tony.
Dude, that was hard. That was fucking hard.
Have you never done them? You were saying like they were so easy 2 seconds ago.
Before, but that was
different. These are fucking a different animal. I don't think people believe me when I did it the other day.
It was mainly like Nick, Adam, and Andrew doing live on their Dynasty channel, but me, Tony, and Gut all got to kind of rotate through and yap through, and there were some fun challenges we got to watch. Adam shaved his beard. Hey!
Wow. Oh my God!
That doesn't look that bad. That's
not a good look.
No,
it's not.
Not at all.
This is not a good look for me.
You just look like a dad.
Nick painted his nails.
I don't know. You tell me.
Like whoever that
You don't like to
is.
smell that?
Andrew had to face the wall.
stand and look at the wall.
You gotta act like a wall.
Think about what you did.
That's incredible. Don't turn around. No, another pick. You get another pick of
Dude,
wall.
you're looking at the wall for the rest of the draft.
I got whipped creamed in the face.
Pause.
I'll do it. Fuck it. Ready, J-Mo?
Bang.
Splash.
Yeah, it's all over the.
Wait, aren't you a Chargers fan too?
That's tough.
Dude, you gave him a pie in the face after they just
picked the guy that he wanted.
That's crazy, bro.
So yeah, it was pretty fun. Draft was a movie. I'm kind of excited for day 2 and 3s because there's a lot of sleepers still out there. A lot of guys of which like there's gonna be sleepers I don't even know about. You know, who's gonna be the next Puka Nacua this year? Who's gonna be the next Kyron Williams? Spencer Rattler, is he gonna be him? Day 2s and 3s, whereas like the real GMs had to step into play and find some ballers and some sneakies out there.
I'm exhausted from the stream. The stream went really well though. I had a lot of fun on the first night of the draft stream last night. If you guys don't follow over there, if you play fantasy football, we have another normal channel that's dedicated just to regular season-long fantasy. We have a Dynasty fantasy football channel, which is probably my favorite game type at this point, but we covered it. We did the live stream watch party on that channel.
Everyone was like, yo, Gut's a big draft hater. Not really. It's just I feel like I'm a realist when it comes to drafts and NFL draft seasons, and people hate that because they're like, I want my pick to be great. And it's like you look back at some of these classes, every year there's so much hype behind every player. Not everyone's going to turn out good. Not every single one is going to be a superstar. If that was the case, holy shit, we would have, if the league would be insane. But sadly, out of that entire first round, there probably will be like 3 superstars, probably like 4 or 5 like great players, and then a bunch of role players. And like that's the reality of how these drafts go. And me saying that on stream really got people stirred up. I don't love the quarterbacks in this class. I get there's a ton of hype around them. They all went top 12. I think that was more neediness of teams instead of really like how good these quarterbacks actually are. I also think a lot of things got blown out of proportion. I felt like college football this season was not elite. At the top end, SEC wasn't really anything that special this season. Big Ten was kind of mid outside of Michigan. And with that being said, like I don't love JJ. I think he's a system, not a system quarterback, but you're banking on his complete athleticism because you haven't seen him ever be relied on for his arm. To be honest, I hated all of the quarterback value that went. Outside of like Caleb and May, Rattler in the 5th round, they're like the only 3 I could stand.
Bo Nix at 12 is like,
if he got like that,
not talked about enough because of the Penix thing. Like, what is Bo Nix doing top 12?
No, that's fair.
JJ doing top 10. He's not a top 10 quarterback.
Yeah, but like that was like expected. Like the hype got to that point.
The hype is just
Michael
absurd.
Penix at 8. That hype was never a thing.
Here's like the craziest like stats. JJ's going into an offense that threw the ball the most in the NFL last season, and he's thrown the ball in his career never over 40 times.
The Vikings threw the most with Josh Dobbs
and Nick Mullins. And before that, Kirk was throwing 44 a game.
I don't know if that matters, does it?
They've done that for the past 4 years. Why would their scheme change?
Because they don't have Kirk Cousins anymore.
But why would Kevin O'Connell change his entire scheme? When is an offensive coordinator? But when does an offensive coordinator just change their scheme?
We did when we got Brock because we didn't have Jimmy G anymore.
You're telling me your scheme isn't damn near the exact same.
Jimmy G cannot pull off what Brock Purdy
No,
does.
I'm saying Brock Purdy is 100% better, but the scheme in itself of the power zone
the
scheme is the
play
exact
calling
same.
100% changed.
That's what I'm. No,
we didn't throw the ball down the field with Jimmy G.
That's the quarterback's like vision and decision making. The play call was still always the same. Of that post will be open when that safety drops.
Okay, but we went
Jimmy
from,
G just fucking stinks.
I mean, I agree, but
Like,
I think it's not.
I think that's Brock being good and Jimmy being bad, both fitting into that Niners scheme where he was taking every safe play because you guys always have an underneath play.
Sure, but the play calling did.
I don't think it did enough. They maybe throw it 60-40 now with Brock, where Jimmy was like 50-50, but the line didn't drastically move one way or the other. With the Vikings, it's like if they go from throwing 42 times a game to 38 times a game, that would make sense. They're not going to go from throwing 42 times a game to 30 times a game. That's a drastic difference. JJ's only thrown the ball over 30 times 3 times in his entire career in Michigan. He's had 2 300-yard games against Indiana and Purdue. Like he also has the lowest deep ball percentage out of all 6 quarterbacks in the draft. Like by a wide margin. You've never been like JJ just won us that game. So it is what it is. I don't love that. I never was a big Jaden Daniels guy. He started 5 years and only had 1 breakout year. It's tough. Takes a ton of hits. There's a ton of analysis I have on these guys. I'm not even going to get into them. Big dub, though. Not for the Panthers, for Baltimore. I love Nate Wiggins. Obviously, Clemson guy, but I think he's just a steal coverage corner. Best coverage corner in the league. Not in the league. In the draft. So I was kind of hyped for the Baltimore fans out there for that one. Obviously, I'm excited for what round 2 comes along. Terrion Arnold going late. Snag and a half. That was a great grab. I loved him. He was my number 1 corner with Nate Wiggins. It was like 1A, 1B situation. Questionable calls, obviously the Falcons, obviously Ricky. I wasn't a big Xavier Worthy guy. Getty's a ton of speed. Hasn't shown much outside of his freshman year. So hopefully he can show that at the next level, but we'll see.
So yeah, that was kind of my takeaways from round 1. I'd love to talk about in Discord or whatever if you have questions of why I do or not like someone. I watched a ton of film. Obviously, I got offered before I came here to be a coach at the college level. So I feel like my film knowledge is pretty high. I feel like since playing for multiple years, I digest film well. I'm both sides of the ball. I feel like I have a very good understanding. So I feel like my takes I believe in very heavily. Obviously, they're not all going to pan out. GMs know way more than I do. They are experts. I am not. But I'm pretty passionate about my takes, so I make it known, and a lot of people don't like that, but it is what it is.
It's a little late, but now that the draft is official, and now that it's day 2 and 3, and now that our combine is officially done, we're technically eligible. Like, as I'm recording this, GMs could be looking at my draft profile right now. I ran a 5.20. I hit all my hires, all my fasters, all my mores outside of one, the punt, pass, kick. I wasn't trying out for a punter or kicker anyways, because who wants to be that? I want to be a skill position guy. My profile is locked in, so day 2, day 3, you could be looking at the next Mr. Irrelevant. I wouldn't write me off, and goes for all of them here. Gut hit all of his squares, including the punt, pass, kick.
I already yapped about the combine. You don't need to hear me talk about that. Dub.
Tony outperformed a lot of his squares. I don't know the exact number.
I did all right. I think I did way better than I expected. I think like a 5.3 40 time, I don't think is impressive, but the floor for me was like really low because it had been years since I've ever had to get into top gear and run in a straight line like that. So the range of outcomes was huge, right? It could have been anywhere from I ran a 5-second 40 to like a 7-second 40. I honestly had no idea. When I was like standing at the 40-yard line, looking down the field, being like, I have to run that full fucking distance. For a second, I didn't even think I could make it. I thought like halfway through, I'd have to take a break and be like, I need to fucking call a timeout right here. But no, we made it through. We made it at a 5.3 time, which was lower than what Underdog has set. So I know there were a lot of people fading me, a lot of people fading Joe, Nick, J-Mo, Gut. They were all wrong. Anquan Bolden was wrong. Josh Norris was wrong. Everybody was wrong who faded us.
Will, he would be the kicker of the group. Joe hit all of his. Some are comparing him to like the next Anquan Bolden, what Anquan Bolden wishes he was.
Everybody wanted to know what I would do if I didn't run a faster 3-cone drill than Anquan Bolden. I guess we'll never know. In all seriousness, the combine, I know it's been from a couple weeks now. It's probably like 3 weeks when you guys are seeing this. It was so much fun. I'm so glad I got to be a part of it instead of just filming it, because normally I'm the person just filming and producing all of that stuff. So actually getting to film it, or excuse me, actually getting to be a part of it and not just look like I'm a complete bum and show some skill has been extremely fun. For all the people that are now asking me to go to the draft, I'm not that good. I still am like 165 pounds, so I'd get absolutely fucking destroyed crossing the middle of the field. It was a lot of fun to compete. We all showed out, other than Nick, like tearing his groin.
For anyone asking, not that fucking anyone's asking or cares, my groin doesn't hurt like on a normal day-to-day basis, but I still can't like do anything. It's fucking annoying. I'm waiting to wake up one day and I can't do normal workouts that I would do. Like I can't run, I can't do like lunges or anything like that. I'm praying that we actually don't have great weather for another like 2 weeks, because I want to play basketball at Jack's place. He's a little like court on top of his apartment. I wouldn't be able to play yet. So groin, not great. Just like the Falcons draft, not great.
I like that, man.
So all around, great 2024 combine. Best one we've done by far. Next year going forward, I think we learned a lot of things. We now know what to expect more, and I think we might even have more pull going into the next combine. So you might see other creators who are affiliated with Underdog. They could possibly work their way into it. So maybe we have more contestants, yeah, and then more lines, more everything. I don't know. It's just gonna be bigger. It's gonna be better. It's gonna be BDG Combine 2025, the most hype thing, the most anticipated event out there.
The lines will probably be way more tighter, so like to actually beat the lines, it's going to actually be a challenge this time, because what they had this year for us, I mean, given they had no idea what any of us, our skill sets were, other than gut playing college football, those lines for next year are going to be tough. That actually I won't be so confident in, because I'll actually have to train to, do better than a 121-inch fucking broad jump. I have to be a part of it, to actually get asked to do it, because, makes me actually feel like I'm part of the company and just, shooting for the company. I really feel like I've grown within the company these last few months, getting to become friends with everybody and know everybody, even though JMO today in fucking Jeopardy had these outlandish questions about himself, and for some fucking reason, nobody knows anything about JMO apparently, because the questions he had were actually absurd. By the time this goes live, I don't know if the questions will be up. He had his favorite dogs on that category list, and he didn't have fucking golden retriever. I mean, I almost fought JMO for not knowing his own self. That's like a side tangent. Don't even know if I'm gonna put that in the vlog. Joe, cut that if you don't.
Our draft profiles are locked in now that the combine's done. I was very happy with the combine went. Shout out to all of you guys for watching and playing on Underdog and picking our highs and lowers. Screw the few of you that faded us though. We're also in the same week of which me and Gut are back from El Paso. That was a hellhole. It was nice to get some of the warm weather, but like, it's El Paso, bro. Like, it's El Paso. We had to do some shitty challenges.
El Paso. Yeah, I mean, it was an interesting trip. It actually turned out to be a lot more fun than we originally anticipated it's going to be. So me and Jimmo just kind of made the most of the time we had doing the challenges. The Chipotle challenge was rough. Obviously, it was not a lot of fun, but at the same time, like, we kind of bonded over that, just watched NBA stuff.
Yeah, Jmo and Guts trip. They left on Friday. I kind of left Tony in charge for the most of it. Like, I helped him for the set up everything, and then working through it like Thursday, Friday before they left. And then that Friday night, I had plans, so I was going out, and I was like, I'm Tony, take care of it, you know? And then I was just getting some texts like, this shit is all falling apart.
I think it went all right. It was kind of hard to tell how things were going while being in New York. Like, I'm trying to give them instructions on what to do. I'm getting as much feedback as they can realistically give me. The challenges themselves, I think, were like a little corny, a little goofy, but I think that's kind of where we wanted it to go. Like, we didn't want to make it so impossible that they weren't going to do it, but we also wanted it to make it uncomfortable and a little embarrassing. Originally, I was sending them to El Paso. The original dates was going to be over Cinco de Mayo, and I wanted them to try to cross the border on Cinco de Mayo. I thought that'd be a funny storyline or whatever, and then they'd basically be in Mexico. I don't remember what happened on Cinco de Mayo, but for some reason we had to change the date, and then like that challenge would have still been funny, but there were other like Cinco de Mayo challenges that no longer made sense of doing. At first, I was like really concerned that these guys weren't doing the challenges that we had given them. You know, I think it's going to be fine. I think while it was happening, I was freaking out a little bit, being like, we're not getting enough content for this, because, you know, it is kind of a bigger project. We're buying flights to send them there, booking a hotel, albeit a shitty hotel. We're still, you know, buying a hotel. We're buying a shit ton of Chipotle, minor league baseball tickets, you know. It is what it is. It was a bigger project. Was it worth it in the end? I don't know. I haven't seen the vlog. It probably will be, and I was probably just, you know, prematurely freaking out. But, you know, it's one of those things, like, I want to be able to do things like that worth doing bigger projects. Like, I don't want to get into the habit of, like, anytime we try to do something extravagant, like send you across the country or like do challenges or do these lifestyle videos, I don't want it to be like where we feel like, well, every time we do this, it never works out. Not that we've done a whole bunch of things. Like, I think when we do the ping pong tournament, that came out really well. I think the combine came out really well. Normally when we do things like this, I think they do come together well. There's always kind of feels like more could have been done, a little more preparation, you know, here and there, but we kind of go into these things not knowing what to expect. Same thing with El Paso. That was just a piece of content that I wanted to really thrive. Either way, I'm proud of JMO and Gut for going on the trip and doing their best. You know, it wasn't the most enjoyable time being in a random fucking city with nothing but to do than stuff your face with Chipotle all day. So,
and it was never that serious. Realistically, they went to El Paso. I don't really think they did the challenges that they were supposed to do, and I will probably hold that against them forever. So there will be points in which I bring that out and be like, you didn't do what you were supposed to do. And I don't think they're going to be arguing against me with that. Tony was actually low-key pretty pissed. He had them come in and sit them down and like yelled at them on Friday morning. It was kind of Monday morning. It's kind of electric because I could tell he was really pissed off about it. It's good to see that, you know. It's good to see other people start to like take on a little bit of leadership role. If it's always me yelling at people, it's fine. But when other people start to do it, it lets me know that they care about it, you know? It's like you're not getting on people. Like our office, it's a little tough in our office because I think we've developed such like a strong friendship and we look at each other. We all have very, very similar passions. I don't know if I go as far as saying like personalities, but we have a lot of things in common And I think that's what makes a friendship, right? And I think that's what makes a group of friends. So we've gotten to the point where we're for sure like a very, very close-knit group of friends, but that can be difficult for them, I think. It's been difficult for me to be able to like blur that line over the last, 5 years or so, being the person that needs to be the bad guy sometimes, saying like, yeah, we're all friends, but when we're inside these walls, like business comes first. Doesn't mean I don't like you if I'm being a dickhead or if I'm on your ass or whatever. And I'm not really like that, 95% of the time, but there needs to come a time where you start to put the things that we're working on first. Otherwise, we're wasting our fucking time working on them if you're too scared to yell at someone because they're like, oh, they're my friends, or I want to be the cool guy, or I want to be this or that or the other thing. It's like, what's cooler is making shit happen. And the only way you make shit happen is by setting that line and making sure that people respect the boundaries of, what the fuck needs to get done in here. That's a learning process for everyone involved. And again, the office is young, so it's not like we have people with a ton of like management or upper level experience in here going through those things all the time. We're all kind of figuring it out together, which is fun, overwhelming, all of the above. But yeah, I'm excited for the summer. I'm excited for the spring. I'm excited for everything to come with the next few months. So the biggest news I think right now for me would have to be our trivia product launching, which I don't know if we've had a confession since then, but we launched it like 2 weeks ago. April 15th was the first day. And we've had over 25,000 people play it, which is awesome because in order to play, like you have to go to the website, obviously, which is an off-platform thing. You need to give us your email and like sign up for it. So those all people that were like able to trust us enough to go do that, when the more steps involved you put for a process for customers or audience members or whatever, the less likely it is for people to convert or to go do those things. So we were able to get 25,000 people in a 2-week time frame to sign up and play with us. And we're getting tons of like engagement on Instagram and Twitter and DMing and posting screenshots. And, we're working every day, specifically like me and JL talking back and forth, and everybody on the team just sending screenshots of things that we need to improve like rapidly to make this cool of a product as possible. In terms of like long-term plans for it, we want to obviously roll out multiplayer so that you can play with your friends in the room. We want to develop a leaderboard system. We're kind of thinking through that because leaderboards, you guys could obviously cheat. So we're thinking of probably siding more towards like the engagement style of leaderboard where it kind of rewards you for playing, X number of days in a row or something like that. Just thought of a cool idea. Like you can get rewarded for when we roll out multiplayer, like whoever has the most number of people playing at once. Like we had a game with fucking 40 people. That'd be kind of cool. But we're getting tweets of like, yo, I'm on my bachelor party. Me and the boys like wake up every day and play the trivia together. I'm like, that's fucking really cool. So that's been really fun to watch this like product roll out and it be something that we're like really internally proud of, and watching the outside world get to like enjoy it. So shout out to JL, all the work he put in for that, and the rest of the team obviously making it happen. And with those types of things, we now need to rethink like our content schedule and how we're lining up the games with editing it, because it needs to be a couple days in advance, but whatever the case may be, it's been a fun past couple of weeks with the product.
The guys in here, we had a meeting about starting another YouTube channel, BDG Bets, where we're going to put up some gambling content. We were talking about the direction we want that to go in. What's it going to look like? Gut does his thing on his Twitter where, he gives out picks every day on NBA and some baseball. And when football was going, he was doing that. And he has a style that he really likes. And we were trying to get all on the same page, figure out what direction we want to take it in. Nick's kind of put the ball in my court a little bit to figure that out. Ultimately, I haven't figured much out about it. Mostly because I just kind of do gambling as like kind of like a side project or a passion project. I do it as a hobby, it's just something that I enjoy. I'm trying to figure out a way that I can make content around it because I'm passionate, but don't want to create content around it to where I lose the passion for it, and kind of lose that feeling of like, oh, this is something I enjoy. Now it just turns into a job and it's just something I have to do. So we're taking baby steps with it. We got a BDG Bets Twitter started where me and Gut are giving out picks. We started a YouTube channel. We don't have any videos on there, but if you want to go subscribe to it, BDG Bets, that'd be fucking dope. We're going to do live streams. Hopefully, we're going to get everybody hanging out every so often, and we're just going to talk about bets that we want to take, and then we ride as a group, because that's the point of BDG Bets, is we collectively come together. We say, all right, what are we fans of today? Do we want to be Detroit Tiger fans? Do we want to be Cleveland Cavalier fans today? What are we doing? We all love sports together. How are we rooting for it? How are we riding together? Ultimately, how are we dying together? So,
Jaden Daniels, passing yardties.
18.5.
I would say 19. Or
19 and a half. Passing yards.
Shit, too easy.
2,800.
31.
I don't really know Dan.
Ain't no way he
like
ran
that.
3,000.
Yeah, actually.
I don't know. I said, what did I say? 2,800? Whatever I said. 33.
I'm taking the under on that.
Million times over again.
Holy fuck. Bro thinks he's Bryce Young or something. Ooh, we got Marvin Harrison too.
Marvin Harrison feels like 850.
Marvin's probably
2K.
I would say 900.
I would say 850 for Marv.
Thou piece.
Thou piece.
What is that on?
Underdog.
Wait, watch out.
This is all an underdog.
I'm about to lose my bet. I'm about to lose my bet right here.
I got it. Like, Jaden's rough. No? 3,300?
I don't understand why you hate him.
No, I'm not like...
You seem like a huge anti.
Yeah, okay. I guess I'm not a fan, but that's a lot of passing yards for a rookie. Second overall pick team.
I mean, he has a pretty fucking fireworky arm, and they're going to be a team that gives up 40 points a game. Their defense is atrocious.
Dude, I bet they just fucking tiered this shit. Like, if they put Jaden Daniels at 3,300, I bet they just put Bo at like 3,000.
Well, I bet I would put Bo at like 3,000. I wonder if they're waiting on Drake because they need more info on like if Jacoby Brissett maybe starts there or some shit.
Okay. Xavier Ward.
Whatever it is, I'm taking the lower.
0.9x on the lower, 1.1 on the higher, so it's a little inflated.
Somewhere 7 to 750.
I don't know. I don't fucking know.
850.
850. That's such an easy lower.
Yeah, I guess that's the big project that I am currently trying to work on. Very, very slow progress, but just trying to find something that's sustainable and something that I feel comfortable with and something that I'm excited to do. And for me, I spend so much time editing, and that feels like a job for me. It's something that I think I'm good at. It's not something I'm necessarily passionate about, and I think I'm totally fine having a job that a passion-driven thing. You know, I work with a bunch of cool guys, and I like everyone here, and I like coming to the office, and that's like enough for me to where I don't feel like I have to necessarily like be the one on camera or coming in here being like, oh, this video edit that I'm doing, I'm so enthused about, right? I can just do a job and enjoy the guys that I do this job with, you know? And so all of that is just to say that I don't want the betting channel to become like a mundane thing. I don't know if that's the right word I'm looking for. It just kind of came to my mind. Yeah, so trying to figure out BDG bets a little bit.
Same old. You know, the draft, we're officially, after the draft, going to be in like the dead off season. Like, no more good free agents. Most of the trades are all done. Fucking MLB time. NBA playoffs are right now too, which is pretty cool, but still, that'll only be a month and a half. We're going to hit like the dead Zed zone pretty soon where there's nothing to watch. But as right now, living in the moment, we're balling as always. I'm so excited to go home for Florida. Not even because like I don't like work. Like, I love working here. And sometimes like when I'm at home, it bugs me that I can't be like in the office working, but like the weather just outweighs everything I just said. Like, not having to wear pants, not having to wear a jacket, just like nothing. It's just 97 degrees and I want it to be hotter. So pretty pumped for that the next 10 days. I think that's my 9-minute yap sesh. I'm about done. Anything else, Joe? Planet of the Apes comes out in like a week. Might go see that in Florida. Who knows? Oh, also the reason I go home is because I'm graduating from college. So big boy stuff.